Jerome Wright here. Thank you for joining me on my Jerome Wright channel. Alright, in this video, I'm going to be discussing the evolution of life forms and the Darwin theory for evolution being that of being wrong, period. The Darwin theory for evolution is based on mating. This is only a small, minute part of the evolution of the creatures of our world. What I've discovered and through my paranormal experience and encounters relating to the evolution of oceanic creatures, prehistoric creatures, including the dinosaur, onto what we have become today, because we were all a part of this process. It's my position that this whale would one day evolve onto walking the planets of our world onto land. You probably think that that's impossible at this point, but no, I found the secret to how it is all being done. I've experienced it. I've envisioned it in a multidimensional sense of awareness that I actually have through my paranormal experience and encounter. How do this creature grow legs, literally, and go on to land? Well, you know that they say that we are what you are what you eat. In my experience and encounter, I'm going to change that saying to say that you become what you eat. And in this case, the killer whale's favorite diet is that of these creatures, penguins. As you see, this killer whale is coming up, has timed this penguin from diving off back into the ocean in the Arctic region, and this guy is going to eat him right now. You see that? Let me make sure I got you there. It's my position that the raw consumption of these penguins, which have DNA, ultimately the numbers of these penguins that this killer whale eats, their genes, their DNA becomes embodied in the killer whale, and ultimately changes the reproductive system of this creature, where the creature's now in this belly, that the offspring that this creature creates some point down the line in its evolutionary period, it creates and develops the wings in the sense that the penguins have, and evolve onto land. And this is how evolution is working. Think about it with T-Rex, all of these creatures, these dinosaurs, eating raw DNA, eating the souls of other living creatures that are alive and have limbs and body parts and a cell structure that their body does not have. So ultimately, they induce or digest so much of this that their own DNA system has no other choice but to take on the genetic makeup of what they are eating, these raw forms of blood and semen. Imagine that, eating the whole birth canal, the entire reproductive system of this creature on a basis of throughout the evolutionary stage of this. Automatically, this creature becomes changed. And this is how this creature ends up going on to land. But it's amazingly that these creatures all look alike. Look at that. But it goes beyond that. I'm saying that not only does this happen for this creature, but for these creatures as well too, that this is all how it happens. And there's more to this than I can possibly ever tell you right now in this 15 minutes. But I want to go forward and show you. Click forward. Here, notice that this killer whale is next to this seal. Again, where there's this raw consumption of these creatures, the behavior is being shown in the whale if you pay attention. We all know how seals come onto land. They slide on their bellies up into land. You know what I mean? Well, the traits and the behavior of this creature is actually now within this creature as well too. This creature has now developed a sense where it'll slide onto beaches to grab itself a seal. It's my position that this behavior and this knowledge did not come from that of the whale and its evolving and its desire to survive and slide up onto onto land, it's my position that this whale is sliding up onto there because at some point or another it developed the genetic sense, the genetic intelligence from that of the seal, and knowing that this creature, this intelligence from this creature saying, hey, this is how you go about catching me, because I'm in there. So this creature, these creatures, the sense in this creature is now in this creature. This whale knows how to slide up, and ultimately that sliding up will become further and further and further to where the killer whale has the sense to be on the beach in the sense that the seal has. Did that make sense to you? Yeah, sure it does. Oh, here the seal is being had been caught. What else do we have? It's my position that the same thing could be said for that of the great white. Now, in all of these creatures, people, I've already found them cause for who we are today. Okay, that is later to be proven and shown by me, but I have some amazing videos out, and this is why you see in ancient rooted religion, royalty, that there is this passion, there is this connection between fish and who we are, like in Poseidon, the myths of Poseidon, on how Poseidon is part of the ocean, but you see these team of horses pulling him out. This, people, it does not take but so much common sense to realize that the body of ocean, Poseidon being in the ocean, showing you that he's the god of the ocean, showing you that he evolved genetically onto the ocean through the body of showing you that the legs would grow. It's showing you the horse, but you can't look at, you have to look at the genetic identity of the horse and the ancestry of the horse of being coming from the dinosaurs. So it's saying through the oceanic creatures and the ancient prehistoric creatures of our world, man emerged, the likeness of man emerged, and that's what these ancient mythical beings and gods are all in representation of. There's something else a whole lot about this. Again, here's these birds. Look at these penguins and look at their feet. They eat in their diet, they have like a crayfish, and they eat squid, a krill or something like that there that they eat. It's my position that these creatures, there's something else too about this that I'm not releasing yet, but these creatures in their diet, their raw consumption. Just imagine you every day. It's my position, this is where I'm at with this, to give you a better idea. I can't let this video go over because I made a video already and it didn't go because it was too long. Every day I'm out there, me and you out there every day, and we're not cooking this stuff or anything. We're not cooking nothing out of it. Every day we're running down these birds and we'll kill them, and we're eating one of these guys or whatever we can eat of these guys, feeding it to our family every day. Ultimately, that raw consumption of their DNA, I mean, we're eating everything of these creatures. We're eating the brain matter. We're eating the reproductive matter. We're eating the semen, the blood, all of this. Nothing is going to waste. We're eating everything of this creature. What do you think is going to happen over a period of time when you producing your children? These creatures' DNA, their genetic identity, the properties of their being is becoming one with your being. This is the chemistry that is going on. And I'm saying that this is an intelligent target that these creatures are doing this by, meaning that I am purposely doing this because I know that this creature's core body temperature is the same as mine, and if I keep eating enough of that, then I will become like this creature, and this creature like me if this creature was eating me. Ultimately, my body would transform into the body of that. And this is what this is all about. Think about it, people. Think about it. So that's where I arrived. There's another great white. This is how I'm arriving at these creatures being able to evolve on to land. This is where I'm arriving with this at, besides other things that I have. I actually have other proofs behind this, but this is why I'm telling you that this is where Darwin's theory for evolution fails, because his theory for evolution is only relating to the traditional mating form of animals. Mine's is targeting to it. I mean, it's geared to that of the raw consumption. This creature is capturing and eating the soul, the brain matter, the blood, the semen, the stomach, everything. It's my position that through the course of this creature's evolution and its passed down, even its offspring, that ultimately what happens is these apex predators, these creatures, they become genetically embodied with the raw food source that they are eating, and ultimately the sense from these creatures, meaning that this creature knows man has developed not only through its own sense, but through the sense of the creatures that it's eating, its soul, everything. It's everything that is captured and what it is eating is now becoming one in intelligence with this creature, and the limbs that the abilities that the seals and the penguins have that this creature ate. It would actually ultimately, the limbs, this creature would ultimately in its evolutionary time produce offspring that would emerge onto land with the intelligence, with the limbs that the creatures that they have. In other words, if this shark had nothing but humans to eat for, let's just say, 100, 200, 300 years, that was his main food source, then ultimately those creatures, those beings, humans, would be emerging through the reproductive system. It would be a body evasion of this shark, and ultimately this shark would produce humans. Well, human fish noise, humanoids from fish, from this great white's body, and emerge onto land. Yes, people, that is what is happening. If you don't think it's going to happen, just think about it. This creature constantly consuming the brain matter, which is the source of intelligence, blood, which we all know that given any and imagine the blood that this creature is taking on a daily source of the same creatures over and over again. So ultimately, you would imagine that this blood would take over, invade the body of this guy's blood system. This cell structure would be changed. Then the reproductive, the semen, the urine, all of these things contaminated. This shark is contaminating its body over that course of period of time. It cannot filter out all of this. Now you're saying, though, this going into just the stomach, but at what point you have blood, it's like a cancer. This is like, okay, at what point? I mean, it doesn't make a difference, because what goes into your stomach and into your mouth, it spreads throughout your body. It developed portals to go out to the rest of your body. And it's my position that these creatures ultimately become one with this creature, seals, penguins, and this is how they're going to emerge onto land. I'm saying I'm going to let this video go because I'm running out of time here. But my position, people, is that the Darwin theory can no longer be supported at all. It's my position that my factual finding for how these creatures have evolved onto land, the same can be applied to all of our ancient ancestors with the dinosaurs. Every creature of our world that has a raw consumption of other creatures. This is the reason why they have the genetic makeup and identity that they have. My name is Jerome Wright. You heard it here first, and I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you. You probably think that that's impossible at this point. But no, I found the secret to how it is all being done. I've experienced it. I've envisioned it in a multidimensional sense of awareness that I actually have through my paranormal experience and encounter. How do this creature grow legs, literally, and go on to land? Well, you know that they say that we are what you are what you eat. In my experience and encounter, I'm going to change that saying to say that of the evolution of the creatures of our world. What I've discovered and through my paranormal experience and encounter is relating to the evolution of oceanic creatures, prehistoric creatures, including the dinosaur, onto what we have become today, because we were all a part of this process. It's my position that this whale would one day evolve onto walking the planets of our world onto land. Jerome Wright here. Thank you for joining me on my Jerome Wright channel. All right, in this video, I'm going to be discussing the evolution of life forms and the Darwin theory for evolution being that of being wrong, period. The Darwin theory for evolution is based on mating. This is only a small, minute part, and that the raw consumption of these penguins, which have DNA, ultimately the numbers of these penguins that this killer whale eats, their genes, their DNA becomes embodied in the killer whale, and ultimately changes the reproductive system of this creature, where the creature's now in this belly, that this the offspring that this creature creates some point down the line in its evolutionary period, it creates and develops. You become what you eat. And in this case, the killer whale's favorite diet is that of these creatures, penguins. As you see, this killer whale is coming up, has timed this penguin from diving off back into the ocean in the Arctic region, and this guy is going to eat him right now. You see that? Let me make sure I got you there. It's my position